What's up, everyone? Jason Gilbo here at JGilbo11. Taking a look at some stacking options for tonight's slate. Overall, I mean, you got Chris Sale on the hill, and then not a lot else. I mean, you got some guys like Charlie Morton, Kyle Hendricks pitching, but for the most part, you're going to be probably paying him for salary, a high salary pitcher. And with that being said, I mean, I think if you're looking at an expensive stack that's a little bit more pricey, the Yankees are certainly in a good spot to do that with. Over a 5 implied run total here tonight. Just going up against Jason Hammel, who's been extremely bad of late. And in that ballpark, I mean, it's definitely a lot of potential. But you look at Hammel, I mean, a couple rough outings against the Yankees and Rays. He's allowed 6 home runs in his last 4 starts and a total of 17 earned runs. BABIP is high, left on base percentage is pretty low. I don't think he's going to positively regress into a humongously better pitcher, given the fact that he still has a near 5 FIP and over 5 xFIP. Ground ball rate, I mean, 35%. 1.33 home runs per night. I still think that's going to continue. He doesn't miss a ton of bats. Hard contact to both sides is over 33%. I definitely like this stack here. I like Starlin Castro, who's a little bit cheaper now. For the most part, it is still a little bit expensive. I mean, you got Judge, who's a high-priced outfielder. Gary Sanchez, who's a high-priced catcher. You can work in cheaper guys like Gregorius and Ellsbury, Matt Holliday. I don't even mind, and kind of get that maybe that value piece to work around instead of one of the bigger bats, which I know it can be a little thing, but this lineup can go off in bunches. So I like the Yankee stack. I mean, I think they come in as one of the better ones on the nights. Washington's going to be popular. Their prices are even higher than the Yankees. I don't mind Washington. We've seen the upside that they have, but their ownership is definitely going to try and take a tail. I can see a lot of people kind of paying down and maybe trying to get Washington in. But I like Sale and I like some of the cheaper stacks. So looking at some of the other ones here, I mean, Rays don't have the highest run total on the board tonight, but I do like their stack here. I mean, Corey Dickerson, Kevin Kiermaier, Evan Longoria, Logan Morrison, definitely a lot of potential. Look at them 4th in ISO and hard contact this year, ton of power. Corey Dickerson's on fire. Logan Morrison hitting the ball well. Evan Longoria, been a little bit quiet. Him and Kevin Kiermaier starting at the plate, but this is a good spot for them to kind of bounce back. Rays do strike out a ton, and it is a little bit risky, but Nolasco doesn't miss a ton of bats on the left side, just a 15% strikeout rate compared to 26 against right-handers. Big-time fly ball pitcher, 33% hard contact rate to lefties, 42% to righties. I know Longoria is the only one that I'm looking at from the right side, but 13 home runs allowed this season, 364 WOBA allowed away from home, which is 314 at home. I know Tropicana's a predominantly good pitcher's park, but Ray's offense has actually hit pretty well there in terms of power, so I'm not really all that concerned. A decently priced stack. I mean, looking at Longoria and Kiermaier, they kind of round out the higher prices of Logan Morrison and Corey Dickerson, so I'll definitely be taking a look at them as a stack in a kind of a contrarian sense. Next one, even after the late game, I mean, Atlanta Braves, I'm in a good spot against Trevor Williams, who has a small sample size in the majors. His minor league numbers were pretty pedestrian as well, over a 60 ERA in 38 career innings, over a 5 FIP and xFIP, average ground ball rate, not a big swing and miss guy, allowing over a 370 WOBA to both sides of the plate, home runs over 2.0 for home runs per 9. With Freddie Freeman out, I mean, Matt Adams has stepped in nice. I expect him to be more popular tonight, as he should be, just in the middle of that lineup. But, Adams is definitely not a slouch. I mean, he's not Freeman, but 349 career WOBA off right-handers with a 194 ISO. Definitely not bad. You look at Matt Kemp, 405 WOBA off right-handed pitching, 254 ISO. I don't mind Brandon Phillips, Nick Markakis, Ender Inciarte kind of round out that stack. Decent potential. Even a Tyler Flowers if you want to be a little bit different. So Braves over a 5 run total in this one. And it looks like we might get kind of on and off, thunderstorms in that one, which could lower a little bit of ownership for people who don't want to take the risk. But, we saw him played out last night. If we're going to get a break, I think we'll see that again. But definitely keep tabs on that one. If you're looking elsewhere, I mean, Houston over a 5 run total. I don't mind the stack there. I don't mind Springer, Altuve, Gaddis, even at Gurriel. I think I'm more looking at the right-handed bats. If Correa is in the lineup, I'll certainly be looking at him. I know he's a little bit banged up, but I think he was sick or something. Doesn't seem to be serious. and I talked about Charlie Morton on the pitching pod. I mean, the blow potential is there. I mean, the home runs are an issue, so Tiger Stack wouldn't be out of the question either. And if you're looking at the Cubs, I know Matt Moore's on the hill, and there's a lot of right-handed bats in that Cubs lineup, but winds are blowing in tremendously. It's lowered the Cubs run total to barely above 4. I like the potential. I like the matchup there. The wins might keep me away a little bit. I think they're more of a stack if you're building multiple lineups to really consider, because their totals are still a full run. Less than most of the other offenses here. So it looks to be a low-scoring game, just given the fact that the pitching in that ballpark with the wind blowing in, it's kind of having me stay away a little bit. But if things kind of drop down a little bit as the day goes on, I mean, maybe you can get a little bit of Cubs exposure. But for the most part, I think I'm just going to be kind of limiting it. So that's going to wrap things up here. You can head over to DailyFantasyCafe.com, check out great tools and content.